All right. So in this video, we're going to talk more about business instead of just real estates. And I want to share something with you really quick. And this is something that the wifey, aka the boss, she just sent me this morning. And this is something basically this video here, we're just gonna sit down, we're just gonna chat a little bit here. But I think it is very, very important that you guys need to understand this, okay? So she texted me this morning. She said, you can't just do stuff just to do it anymore. You need to put it, your heart and soul into that, and that's how you become ultimately successful. And I got to agree with her 100%. And the reason why is because, you know, if you want a business to succeed, okay, like you really have to put your heart and soul into it. And I think a lot of people, when we're trying to build a business, a lot of people wants it to be hands off, right? Automations. But to be honest with you, it's just not how it works. Um, I have like Law and I've been in the business game, entrepreneurship for like 20 20 plus years already. And the thing is, when you take your hands off your business, when you take your hands off the wheels and you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to let it run, it will run down, right? It will run down the hole. So you need to understand that energy flow where focus goes, and wherever you put your most attention and focus on, that is truly where the money is going to grow. And the people who are building, multiple business at the same time, 4, 5, 10 different business at the same time. I can almost guarantee you this. And I'm saying this from experience, and I'm guilty I'm guilty by this, right? And that's why Lon sent me that message, because she wants me to focus. She wants me, to lock in. So, and I share this with you is to remind both of us, not just you, but I can almost guarantee you the people who's running, 5, 10, 30 different business that they brag about, majority of them actually don't make any money. They either break even or they actually lose money. They actually only make money on 1 to 2 business, and that is it. And I mean, it just sounds sexy, when you say that you run a lot of company and this and all that. But unless those company are on, like, man, you have a dial in where you got a good operator right there, just like you, which you call the COO, like it's just a really good operator and everything was on automation. Unless that, man, I mean, unless that person have skin in that business, which mean whoever run that business with you, they probably make, they probably get 40 to 50% of that company, right? And that's how they're going to run it without you. But otherwise, if you're just running a company where you're paying employee to run it, I cannot see having 5, 10 different business and having all of those become successful. I like Lon and I run business ourselves, so we know what it takes. Like, you truly got to put your blood, sweat, and tears into it to actually have a successful business. And that's why there's a book called One Thing, where you focus on truly on one business and building that business. I think Hamosi, if you follow Alex Hamosi, they sold the company Gym Launch for $46 million. He also did $100 million on just one weekend. So this guy is a beast. Out of anybody you want to listen to, I mean, that guy really, he is a beast of the beast. So so I don't know, too much about his stories, but when he got together with Layla, right? Layla is his wife now. But when they got together, Layla was telling the story that she came to Alex and Alex was running multiple business. And she's like, bro, this is why you're not making money, man, because you're running multiple business. Your attention is getting spread everywhere. She said, why don't you get rid of all the shit and just focus on one? And that's when everything clicked for Alex. That's why he is where he is today, right? And if you listen to him, he credited a lot to his wife. And my story, like, we're very similar. Obviously, I'm not as big as Hamosi. I'm not making as much money as Hamosi. But, that's why finding the right partners, marrying the right person, it's either going to make you or break you in business for real. Like Lon and I are very different when it comes to like personality. Like we're very different. But when it comes to like our goals, what we want to accomplish, where we want to be in life, then we're very similar. At an early age when Law and I first met, we decided not to have kids and we want to focus all of our attention on, getting rich and accumulating the money and building wealth and then spend the rest of our life just to travel and enjoy life, right? So that we're on the same page. Imagine if you want to have kids and your partner doesn't, and it collide, it can cause a really big conflict. But let's go back to about business and being able to focus on that one thing. I can tell you, and if this is you, comment in the chat and let me know. Because every single time when I bring people on and I talk and I interview people, a lot of them do the same thing. A lot of them like, hey, Colin, you know what? I'm doing, real estates. I'm doing Amazon. I'm day trading. I'm doing stocks. Like, and a lot of times they don't make money. They don't. They might make like a few $1,000 a month, 5,000, maybe max $10,000 a month. But if you want to get to like big numbers, like 50K a month, 100,000 a month, $300,000 a month, right? That's kind of where I'm at. And you want to scale it up. It really goes down to it's like building it, going all in, especially getting it to $1 million. If you want to get a business to $1 million a year, you really have to lock in one. Like you really have to find whatever that business is that you're trying to build, and you just go all in on it. Otherwise, if you're trying to build 3 to 4 to 5 at the same time, you end up going to be mediocre on all of them. You end up just going to make a few thousand on all of them. Like I said, top maybe $10,000 a month. But then you're working like a mad dog. You're working all the time. It's because you're trying to juggle, man, to too many different things. And that's why you're going to be average at all of them. Right? Jack of all trade, master of none. That's why the book called The One Thing, if you haven't read it, maybe go read it. I don't read books, but I listen to audio, right? I go on YouTube, I search it and boom, or I download the audio and I listen. Right? We all consume things differently, right? How we learn is different. I'm like a visual learner, so a lot of my students that's in my academy, they're visual learner. Like, they need that hands-on mentorship, like share my screen, walk me through it, show me how it's done. But so we all learn differently. Some of us learn by reading books. Some of us learn, some of us are fast learners. Some of us are slow learner. But I can tell you, everyone that you run across that they said, oh man, show me the numbers, because I'm a victim of that. I was trying to run multiple business at the same time. I was trying to build multiple business at the same time. And that's the reason why I lost over $1 million last year, and back in like 2000, I think it was like half of 2023 and half of 2024. I was trying to run too many things. As an entrepreneur, we get distracted and we get bored at just building one thing, right? We want to build multiple things, right? And we have so many ideas, right? Just like you. I have a lot of ideas too that I just want to execute on, and it's just not how it works. I can tell you right now, it's just not how it works. But how I'm able to now being able to like, build my social media, build my personal brand, and being able to create content is because I spent like 5 years, man, to build my wholesaling business up to the point where, there's teams, there's systems, process in place. And I'm just happy with what we're making in that business. I don't want to grow or scale that business anymore. So for me right now with my wholesaling business, we have a team now. We're down to like 4 VA. We used to have 7 VAs that run my whole wholesaling operations. But Lon recently just built her own AI, and it took her 2 months. She has to build this AI, and she worked day and nights. I'm so proud of her. She worked day and nights to build her AI agent called Alex. And she does all the inbound and outbound call and follow-up. So she replaced 3 of my VAs that I used to have that filter and qualify the leads. So now that Lon's AI is able to, filter and qualify leads, she's able to make outbound call. She's able to take inbound call and then set appointment. We have to let the other 3 VA goes. It cuts down my overhead. With other stuff, it cuts down my overhead by like $10,000 a month. But not just that, it saves me a lot of money on opportunity costs. Some of these leads that when we were having our VAs go through it, um, the leads were being followed through, was being fall through the crack, right? And a follow up was being, fall through the crack. Like, you need to understand, 60 to 70% of your deals is going to come from follow up. But these VA were dropping the ball left and right. But anyways, now that ain't going to happen anymore. Like, this AI is a badass. But, so I wouldn't be able to build that AI, right, without Lon, because it would have required a lot of my attention to be taken off of my business, my social media, and my wholesaling business to go and build it. And then, Lon was able to have that time to be able to do it. So what I'm saying is, once again, whatever you focus on, that's where it's going to grow. So for me now, I don't really on my wholesaling business, we're making, right there at $100,000 a month, right? Where I only spend about maybe like an hour or someday 2 hours on that wholesaling business. And I got my team to run it. I'm happy with where it's at. I'm not looking to scale or grow it anymore, because if I was focused on growing and scaling it, I would not have time to do social media. I would not have time to create content, to be honest with you. But I love teaching. I love creating content. Like, wholesaling makes money, but it's not something I enjoy to do. All right. Some of you love it, right? For me, I love creating content, and some of you don't like to create content. You don't like to be in front of camera. Like I said, we're all different. But this is where my passion is. Like, I haven't eaten anything all day. Like, I'm starving right now. But I decided to jump on and do this video is because I felt like a lot of you need to hear this. And if I don't do it now, I'm not going to be able to have time to release this. And I just think it's very, very important. Like, don't make the mistake that I made. Don't make the mistakes where a lot of entrepreneur makes, where they diversify, juggle too many different businesses at the same time. I have one of my real estate buddy. If I mention his name, you will know who he is, but I'm not going to mention his name. He mentioned about, some people are good in, building a business and launching it, and then build another one and then launch it. Honestly, you can build, launch, and then sell it. But I do not agree with him that you can build, launch it, and then run it, and then build multiple one and have all of that, get to like 5 million a year, 10 million a year, 20 million a year. Like, it's impossible. Like, I do not believe it. Like, he said that. He's like, he said, I'm good with building and then launching business. And that's why he's building multiple business. But I'm just saying, I do not believe that he can build multiple business and run it at the same time and have all of those business making him 5, 10, 20, $30 million a year. I do not buy that, because I'm in it. So I know what it takes. I know what is required. And it just does not work like that. So unless you build, you launch, and then you sell it, right? It gets to like $1 million a year or 2 million or $3 million a year. And then you sell it, and then you build another one, and then you launch it. Now that, absolutely. And is some people good at building and launching business? Absolutely. Maybe, other likes to run it, or good at running it. Some just likes to build, because listen to me. He gets bored very easily, right? He built something and then he gets bored. He's like, oh, I'm building, it's good, it's making me money. And now he's like, it gets boring, right? And then he wants to build something else. And that's where most of us fail, is that when it gets boring. And if you watch Hamosi, if you listen to Hamosi, he said this, when things gets boring, how long can you keep on sticking to it? Most people get bored and they just drop. Just like when you first got into wholesaling, it gets exciting because something is new. It gives you hopes that this might be the one that will change your life. And then you start to get into it, and you see a lot of progress, right? You're learning a lot, you're doing a lot, and you're seeing a lot of progress. And then all of a sudden, to the point where the progress just stops, because you just now do rinse and repeat. You're doing the same thing, right? You're not learning anything new, because you just need to do the work. right? It's just like, okay, pull the list, skip trace the list, call, or send out your direct mail, send out your postcard, work on your craft, which is work on your negotiating skills, right? Learn your script, master your script. It gets boring, but that is what it is. But that's what it is. And now you feel like, oh man, when you first got in, there's a lot of stuff you're doing, a lot of stuff that you're learning, and you feel like the growth, right? You feel like there's a lot of progress until you do the same thing every day, and you're not seeing the progress, right? Oh, you're not seeing a deal being closed. You're not seeing, but that's what it takes. But it only takes one deal. And then it just rinse and repeat. And the thing is, the boring is what makes you the money. For me, with my wholesaling business, same thing. I got bored, and then I was, building my social media. Then I got bored, and then I jump into other things that gets me excited, and that's where I lose my money. Because every single time when you start something new, you're almost guaranteed to lose money. Almost guaranteed to lose money because you're learning new things, right? You're gonna make mistakes. You're not gonna know you're not gonna know you're not gonna know what's gonna happen next to protect yourself because you're new. You're just learning the game. So those of you who's starting and building a business, here's what I recommend you do. So here's what I recommend that you do. So let's just say that you're building a business, and whatever business that you're building and you're good at it already, and it's making you a lot of money. The next thing that you should do is what you need to do is if you want to like diversify, then all you need to do is create a personal brand, build content, around that. It will help you build other stream of income without taking a lot of time away from the business that you're generating. Okay. So focus is the key. So for me right now, that's why my focus now. So my wholesaling business is doing where it's where it's at, and I like it where it's at. I don't need to grow it anymore. So now my next focus is I'm not trying to grow my social media anymore. I have 4 million followers already. I'm not trying to grow more followers, to be honest. I'm now more focused on changing more lives and helping the existing followers makes more money. That's it. So instead of like trying to go out there creating some viral content, I'd rather just focus on helping the existing one. And then, so now, for me, I love teaching. I love teaching. I guess that's my passion. So I have my academy, right? Those are like my academy students. Those are where I do hands-on mentorship. That's where you work directly with me and my team. Right. And then the other one is I have it's what's called my Skool Community. And the reason why I launched my Skool Community is because so many of you have reached out and said, hey, Kong, I can't afford the academy, right? It's a little bit more out of my price range. It's a little it's a little pricey for me right now. But do you have something that I can get into the game where it is affordable, right? That I can still get the contract, the tools, the scripts, the courses, the training, so I can get my feet wet and get into the game, without, putting up, without spending a lot of money up front. And that's the reason why I decided to launch my Skool Community, and then you get to be in a private community with other like-minded real estate investor across the country. So you can network, ask questions, and do deals with. And I do believe, there's a difference between being in a free group versus a paid group. To be honest with you, when I first started, I joined a lot of free groups, and majority of those groups, man, people just talk. Like they just talk. That's why I said, you know what? I'm not going to launch a free community, because if you want free, my YouTube channel, over 3,000 video, I'll share it all, right? But I said, you know what? I want people to have skin in the game. I want to work with people who are serious about changing their life, who are serious about, their wholesaling career, building the business out of this, and actually closing their first or their next deal. Like they're serious about doing this. They're not just talking, but they're ready to take action. And I want, to put you in a room with other people who have skin in the game, where you can learn from, you can grow with, and you can earn with, right? We can learn and earn together. So that's why now that's my focus, my academy students and my Skool Community club members. Just like Midnight right here. Nathan, I think it's Nathan. There's so many, and I forgot. Look at Nathan, about to lock up 4 property for $20 million. Like Nathan is in my Skool Community. Like when people have skin in the game, it is completely different. I do believe just like when you go to a 1-star hotel versus when you go to a 5-star hotel, the people's different. The environment is different. Like the things that's being shared is different. So in my Skool Community, right, there are courses that I would only share in there because once again, these are people who pay to get into the game. So I want to give them everything that I got. And that's kind of where my focus is. My academy is obviously it's a hands-on mentorship where you work with me, my team. We have live classes 3 to 4 times a week. But anyways, I just want to jump on. I just want to share that with you. If you are distracted, if you're trying to juggle, if you are building multiple business, I can tell you right now, you ain't going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. You're not going to be able to make the money that you want to make. That's going to change your life. Okay. So pick one and focus on one thing. Okay. Pick one and focus on one thing that you want to do, and then build a business out of it. Whether it's wholesaling real estate, whether it's drop shipping, whether it's, stock trading, crypto, whatever it is that you want to do, but just pick one and master it. Don't be jack of all trades. Just master it. You know how many people that I talked to that said, hey, Kong, I have a job here, another job here. Dude, working harder is not going to make you rich. It's not about working harder. Okay. But it's what you do for work. I want you to understand that. So it's not about having multiple jobs. And I also talk to other guys or gals who have a job and then having multiple side hustle. It's not how it works, my friend. It's not about having multiple side hustle. So there's this one guy that DM me. He said, Kong, I got a job. I got a 9 to 5, and then I go home. I also day trade, and then I also, do he also sell like baseball card or whatever on eBay or Amazon. And then he also does like tutor. I said, bro, you're doing too many things, bro. Like how much money? And then I asked, I say, well, you know what? Like my whole thing is, dude, like, let's see the results. So I said, so how much money do you make a month? He said, $7,000. I said, how many hours you work a day? He said, well, Colin, I got the 9 to 5, and then I got So we're working like 12, 13 hours a day to make $7,000. Where I said, dude, what you need to focus on is figure out which one is currently making you the most amount of money that pays your bills, right? That allows you to live the life that you currently live right now with your lifestyle. Get rid of the rest and then focus on going all in on that. So maybe you have a JOB. Maybe the JOB is what pay for your bills, provide you, give you the lifestyle that you're living right now. And then I said, dude, just pick one side hustle, bro. If it's day trading, focus on day trading. Learn all about day trading. Dude, invest back into it. You have to get a course. You have to get into a mentorship. You have to get into a private community. It doesn't matter. And yes, when I talk about that, people be like, well, Colin, you're trying to sell. Listen, man, scare money don't make you any money. The best investment that you can make is into yourself. The best bet that you can bet is bet onto yourself. And you'll be like, well, Colin, you're trying to sell. I'm not. If you think I try to sell, well, think about this. When trying the freeway, how far has that gotten you? How far? Why do people pay why would I pay $30,000 to go to a real estate mastermind when you all the information is free out there? Because maybe for some of you, but for me, my time is more valuable now. So I don't want to waste time. But honestly, dude, when you pay to go into this mastermind, things that are being shared in that mastermind, they would never share that outside the club. I also pay $18,000 to go to another mastermind. If it was free, why would I? Listen, I'm Asian, man. I'm Asian. We always look for deals, right? But when it comes to investing in yourself, dude, there is no deals. The best deal is yours. It's yourself. Because you're banking, you're betting on yourself. So when I paid $30,000 to go to this mastermind, it's now making me an extra $30,000 a month because of the connection that I was able to make. I paid $18,000 to go to another mastermind called The Family. It's half real estate and half social media. A connection that I made from that is now paying me. I shouldn't say pay me, making me $25,000 a month from that one connection and one piece of information. I mean, so I'm just saying, if you want to do the freeway, it's fine. If you rather trade your time for the money because that's all you got, perfect. Then do it. At the end of the day, time is money. But you are going to get to the point of your life where you'll be like, you know what? I have the money. I don't want to waste any more time. And then that's when you just got to pay to play. That's when you just got to pay and play, my friend. I mean, why would Hormozi pay Uncle G $140,000 for, I think, like 45 minutes? Why would he? When all the information is out there. The reason, so he paid Uncle, and a lot of people said, oh man, Hormozi is a waste of money. He could have saved that. Who's smarter? You or him? Who's making more money? You or him? Come on, man. Shit. That's why a lot of times, for me, I learned my lesson. Like, I don't listen to people who have small bank account than I am. I mean, listen, everyone has opinion. Okay? You just got to be careful who you listen to. So Hormozi paid Uncle G $140,000, right, for the 4 to 5 minutes. Uncle G told him, obviously, about building his personal brand on social media. And that was it. And I know when someone heard that, I'd be like, oh, whoa, dude, oh my God, I can't believe he paid $140,000 for that. But for Hormozi, it's worth $100 million. Because if that phone call, basically he said that phone call verify what he needs to focus on. And that's what he needed to hear from Uncle G. And sometimes that's just what it is, man. Sometimes you think, oh man, this is like common sense. But a lot of time we're in a position where when you're in the game, it's hard to see it. Right? When you're in the game, it's hard to see it. Okay? Where something is common sense for somebody else, but it might not be for you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why you hire a mentor. So Uncle G told him that, and he went all in, and boom. That's how Hormozi becomes Hormozi today. And that's how he's able to do $100 million on his book launch in one weekend because of that $140,000 that he paid for Uncle G. So I'm just saying, man, like I invest a lot in myself, and I've seen that every single time when I bet on myself and I invest in myself and I bet and I bank on myself, it always pays off. But when I try to gamble, dude, I always lose. And a lot of times people don't bet on themselves. It's because you don't have the confidence in you, either that you're going to do it or you're going to use the material. And the thing is, how do you know if it's the right move or wrong move? You don't know. Like, I'll be honest with you. I got someone who reached out to me, okay, who said, well, Kong, I've been following you for a couple years now, and I know that you recently just launched the Skool Community. Like, what's the difference between, your Skool Community and your academy? And obviously, I'm not going to go over the information. I already told you what's the difference. But I explained to him, and I said, so how much capital you have? Right? He said, hey, Kong, maybe like $500 to $1,000. I said, okay, dude, join my Skool Community. I told him, I said, currently right now, dude, it's only $57 a month. There's only 50 spots left. After that, the price is going to go up. And it will go up. We start at $19. Then it goes to $27, $37, $47. Now we're at $57. Once we hit 500, it's going to go to 67. I can't wait until it goes to 67 because I don't know what's going on with the 67, but it's going viral. But anyways, and I said, dude, do that. And he said, well, Kong, I'm going to think about it, man, because I don't know. I don't want to make the wrong move. I said, okay. I said, fine. Then don't make a move. You will never know, bro. I said, dude, you will never know if it's the right move or the wrong move until you make a move. But let me ask you this. What have you done already by not making a move? What have you done? What have you accomplished? Have you closed a deal yet? The answer is no. Then why not give it a shot? Oh, it's because you don't have the confidence that you're going to put in the work? Because I told him, I say, if you think this is a get rich quick, that you're going to, close a deal for $50,000 in the next 30 to 60 days, I'll be upfront with you. Probably not. The chance, not. But can it happen? Absolutely. But if you're looking to close a deal in the next 3 months and you're willing to put in the work, dude, that's very likely to happen. So, I mean, there's people who have never taken action, and then they join the school community, and they're taking action now. Because you know why? Because of vibration, energy. When you go into the group where just like Nathan, putting 4 property in a contract, and then you saw that post from Nathan, you start like, hey, Nathan, how did you do it? Nathan's like, well, this is what I did. And then it's just like a domino effect. Energy, right? That's why, man, when you start surrounding yourself with doers, you become another doer. So I told the guy, I say, so what do you have to lose? Dinner? Your dinner money? The pair of shoes that you just bought. I'm sure it's more than $57. Your dinner is probably more than $57. The shirt that you got, maybe more than 50, or the jeans or whatever it is. I said, I'm sure that you're going to buy something this month that's going to cost you more than $57. But that thing ain't going to make you any money. So I said, honestly, bro, if you don't have the attitude of whatever it takes and willing to take the risk and make the jump, then you don't have what it takes to make it in life. You're best just to stick to the J-O, the B. You see, for me, I don't like to sugarcoat. I'll give it straight to you exactly how it is. It doesn't matter to me if you join or don't join. I create the group for action taker, for people who's ready to jump, to lock in. So anyway, I mean, that's exactly what I told him. And some of you are afraid to lose out on something, but you're missing out on what you could have gained from it. I mean, I literally made an $18,000 investment under 3 minutes. So this is my first time going to the family mastermind, right? So one of my buddies said, hey, Kong, this is the mastermind that I think you should consider joining. So I DM'd the guy, and the guy called me, and he said, well, Kong, this and this and this. I said, bro, I literally stopped him because the way that I operate is different. So he was trying to tell me all this thing about it. I said, bro, just stop. I said, I just need to know one thing. I said, do you have people in there that are doing what I want to do? And he said, Kong, yes. I said, sign me up. That's all I said. I asked him, I said, do you have guys or girls in there that are doing what I wanted to do? He said, yes. And that's all I needed. I said, dude, get your girl, call me up. Here's the credit card. I made a $18,000 investment under 3 minutes. Because you know why? Because I was confident. I believe in myself. And I knew it's not going to be an easy thing. I have to put in the work. And that $18,000 now made me $25,000 a month. Because I was able to make one connection with someone in that mastermind and the information that he gave me. And bam. And a lot of you, dude, if you cannot make a decision, listen, I think people that have to contemplate and think about it is because you don't know what you want in life yet. You don't know what you want yet. Because when you know what you want, you'll be like, yep, it's either for you or not for you. So for example, like when you go, that's why I don't like window shopper. Like I bought my AMG, $100,000. Never had to test drive it. I bought Baby Rari. Never had to test drive it because I know what I want. True story. I dropped $100,000 on the AMG. I literally went into the dealership. I said, this is the color I want. This is the spec that I want. Boom. When can you get it for me? Bam. Done. He said, oh, Colin, you need to test drive. I was like, no, dude. It's just a waste of time. It's a brand new car. What's going to go wrong? Plus, there's warranty on it. If it breaks down, you guys are going to give me a new one. Why would I worry? I know what I want. Same thing with Baby Rari. They like, it's $325,000. You sure you don't want to test drive, bro? No. I said, I don't need to. I already know what I want. So a lot of you, dude, one, lack of confidence. You're not confident in yourself that you're going to use the material and apply it and take action. Okay? Or you don't think it's going to work. Number three is you don't know what you want. Because when you know what you want, when you see it, you're done. Right? You're like, Colin, yep, I tried the freeway. I tried this. Doesn't work. You know what? Let's give this thing a shot. What do you have to lose? What about if you're able to go in there and made a connection? Because we have people in there like Nathan. He does deals with other people's JV deals. And I think it's Nathan. Nathan, maybe it's not Nathan. We have 400 and something club members on there. But I mean, if Nathan comment in the club, I'll know who he is. But on YouTube, I apologize, Nathan, if it's not you. And if you're someone else, I apologize. But once again, for those of you, if you're ready, okay? If you're like, Colin, I'm rock and roll, dude. Join my Skool community. There's only room for 50 spots. Just go to skool.com/WTM club. Literally $57 a month. Okay? Now, if you know that you like Kong, I need that hands-on coaching, dude. I'm ready to rock and roll with you. Then go to coachwithkong.com. That's it. Now, let me share with you the Skool community of what it looks like and what you can expect. Because I know a lot of you, you go in there and then you're like all confused where you get all the trainings and all the materials. So let me take some time here. Okay? So let me share my screen with you really quick here before I go to lunch. So when you log in, here's what's going to look like. Here, let's see how many club member we got. So currently right now we're at 456. So by the time I told you there's 6 people, I guess we're at 456 now, okay? So once you join, all you need to do is check on Classroom. This is where you get all of your training material, okay? So if you want to join, let me put the link again so you can link this. Link is in the descriptions if you want. But if you want to, then you can just click, you can go here, right? Type it into your Google. Now you go in Classroom. Now all of this is free. You do not have to pay anything more. All these courses, you get the contract, the purchase, and the assignment contract, my badass seller script, 100-hour cold calling, the JV contract, courses on how to build your own custom list, the VAs, where to hire, like all of these courses, like I can literally go through all of this. Boom, 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 boom. Access to all of these courses and more because I'm dropping new one every single week. Like today, I just dropped a course showing you exactly my 7-figure wholesaling funnel, what it looks like, and how I'm able to build that. Okay? All this access to this course completely for free. No cost to club members. Now check this out. The next thing I want you to do is go to the Classroom, do whatever you need to do, but please introduce yourself. Go on here, introduce yourself. Get to know as many of the club member as possible. Start building relationships and start building connection. Because you never know, my friend, who is going to be in the room with you. True or false? We have people in here from all walks of life. We got people in here who's a realtors, wholesalers, landlord, flippers, lenders. We got obviously, 9-to-5 corporate Americas. But the thing is, we all have one mission. And that is either to close our first, the next deal, become financially free, and escape the rat race. Every single one. That's our mission. Let me see here. This is everything in here. Like people are literally in here. We're engaging, we're We're engaging with each other. We're networking with each other. We're helping each other out. Look at this. I can't pronounce his name, and I apologize. But look, he said 2 active deals from follow-up. Look, so about a month ago, I had but anyways, he just got 2 deals under contract just yesterday, 1 day ago. Boom. And look at this. It gets everyone rile up, gets everyone excited. And obviously, because now the energy carries. And then the next thing you know it, would be the next one. Anyways, that's all I got to say. The choice is totally up to you. All right. This is no pressure. And it doesn't matter if you join or don't join. It's totally up to you. I just want to be able to give you that options. And you know that before that, if you were to get my contract, my scripts, and my courses, you would have to pay almost $2,000. And that's why I now decided that I want to build a community instead. And that's why I launched my Skool Community, and I'm giving all to you for just $57 a month. I want to make it affordable. I want to make it at least amount of risk for you as possible. The worst thing is you join, you download the contract, you got everything that you need, and you're like, Kong, I don't want to be in the group anymore. You can just cancel. You can cancel your subscriptions. Now, what's cool is that whatever price that you got in, you're locked in on that price forever. So those who pay $19 when I first launched and actually jump in and pull the trigger and took the risk, but you getting value on top of value forever, which means you don't have to pay anything extra. All the courses that I'm releasing, right? And even if the price goes up to $67, $77, $87, $197, you will continue to pay whatever the monthly payment that you got in. So that's the cool thing about it. Whatever you pay today, whatever you lock in, you pay that thing regardless of how high the price goes. Can you post the link? RRJM. Yes. You can check the link in my descriptions, or you can go here. Okay. Go to school.com/WTM club. Okay. For those of you who's looking to get into the club, I look forward to seeing you in there. And once again, there's only spot for, I guess, 40-some member left. So I hope you make the cut. If you don't, the price is going to go up. Okay. Good luck with everything. I look forward to seeing you in the club. Until next time, take care. And let's go get this money. I'm out.